Hi, my name is Vanessa, and I am juggler in chief of a crazy, wonderful life. I'm going to be totally honest. Until maybe 1 or 2 days ago, I'd never heard of Ronin Factory. But I have a friend who is a crazy fan who told me all about it and about this wonderful, amazing opportunity that they are giving to local small business owners. And I know I'm coming a little late to this party. It is Sunday, April 11th, and videos are due today, and I'm just getting started. But something has nudged me to go ahead and give this a shot, and it's such a fantastic opportunity, and I'm so grateful to Ronin Factory for making this opportunity available for small business owners because we definitely can use the help. Allow me, please, to give you a little background about my business and family. I am super blessed to have a job that I love. I have been a professional photographer for almost 20 years now, but for much of that time, it was mostly supplemental income for my family of six. 5.5 years ago, though, my Marine Corps veteran husband, who was the main breadwinner, became very ill with neurological Lyme disease, among many other diagnoses. These sicknesses have rendered him essentially bedridden to the point that he can no longer care for himself, let alone work to bring in income. It has been a long road for our family, with seeing dozens of specialists trying to get some diagnoses that made sense, applying for and being denied disability, even though he is too sick to come to things like family holiday gatherings or his own children's graduation ceremonies. But we've come to accept this as our new normal, and thankfully, I had a photography business that I was able to build up to support our family and also allow me to be home most of the time to take care of my husband Eric as well as our four children. A recent passion that I've had in the last few years is photographing small businesses and personal brands and really capturing the essence of their story so that I can help them communicate their brands to the world in the best possible way. But my other passions are photographing families, and especially large families, and animals with the people they love. I also enjoy shooting weddings, couples, seniors, babies, little kids, and headshots. A recent passion that I've had in the last few years is when COVID hit, things were going really well. I had just booked over a dozen shoots for the next month and had several other projects in the works. Then we were issued stay at home orders here in California. And within a few weeks, all of the weddings I had booked and all of the spring sessions that I had booked had to be canceled. Some people were gracious about putting off their sessions and events, but many requested and needed refunds because they were now looking at job losses or reduced income. This business was our little family's only income, and losing all of that work and refunding clients put us in quite a pickle. I knew that I would have to pivot to keep my family afloat. One thing I turned to was my landscape and nature photography because although I couldn't gather with people to take their photos, I could still get out in nature and put my camera to use. I found that capturing the beauty that still showed up in the world around me, in spite of the darkness and heaviness that felt so apparent, was very healing to me. And my images provided inspiration to others struggling to see the light. My only sale of images during the next few months was my landscape images to some local offices who wanted local art to hang on their walls. I was also able to dig in and create some unique and beautiful products that I could offer using some of these images. The other way I was able to pivot a bit was with my horses. I wasn't really looking to have a horse related business at the time. I just needed to find a way for the horses to pay for themselves so I could continue to feed and support them. In the past, I had been a riding lesson instructor and have off and on given a few riding lessons, mostly for friends and their children. Now, with my photography business essentially shut down, and noticing that there were a lot of people wanting something to do outside in nature where social distancing was very possible, I found myself with a growing demand, just by word of mouth, for horses and riding. So many people commented on the healing and happiness they felt just being around the horses. It's been a really challenging year for so many who have been isolated, kids not able to go to school or do their other activities, and pretty much everyone, right? So, as more people began asking, I kept adding riding lessons and found that each parent would tell me,
Hey, coming to see your horses is the highlight of my kids' week. This unofficial business has grown, and I would like very much to make it official with licenses, insurance, and a website, etc. Just as my landscape photography and horseback riding lessons were beginning to take off, and it looked like our economy might reopen a little bit in the summer, I had a serious accident while on an endurance training ride with my horse, Nicholas. We fell off of a bridge that I should never have asked him to cross, as it was much too narrow, and both of us were seriously hurt. He was cut up and bleeding, and seriously injured his stifle or knee joint, and I ended up with a broken shoulder, cracked ribs, and also injured my elbow and both knees. At this point, I had a husband and 4 kids to care for, some fairly large vet bills, and all of our other bills to pay, and I couldn't saddle a horse or pick up my camera. Have you ever noticed they don't make cameras to work with your left hand? And it was my right that was broken. I was completely out of commission for several months, and the bills kept piling up. And that's kind of a perfect lead in to the question that was asked as what we would spend uh, funding, that if we were able to receive funding from Ronin Factory, where would those expenses go? So I'm really big on honoring my obligations. And the first thing that I would do would be to repay some of the debts. I'm past due on some utilities by quite a bit and some other um, business obligations like taxes and a few creditors that I would just love to get caught up on and clean the slate with. And then I would love to invest further into my business. I've got a large format printer that just needs a print head and a maintenance cartridge replaced so that I can continue to make beautiful large prints and canvases for my clients and for my fine art. I would love to legitimize my horse business, get it licensed and insured, and possibly even hire another instructor to help out when I need to be home with my husband and kids so that more kids and adults can get to enjoy how amazing it is to work with horses and to be around them and to ride them. I have a camera. It's pretty much on its last legs, my main camera. Just brought it in to be cleaned because it wasn't acting properly and was told that the shutter count is super high. That's got to be replaced or repaired. So those are just a few of the things that I would do if I was able to get some funding. Um, I would love to get also a website up for my fine art photography business so that I could better market those to local homes and small businesses that might be interested in having beautiful beach and landscape photography. Finally, I love that the question was asked is how would we use these funds to contribute and give back to society, because that is so important to me. Um, Giving and helping and contributing is a really big part of what I stand for and what I do with my work, whether it's donating 10% of all my income to charity or donating my time and services to various charity organizations. That's something that I have always been involved in from the moment my business began, and it's something that I would love to continue to do, to contribute and be able to give even more. Some ways I've done this in the past include donating fine art prints and auctioning my services to charities such as the Ronald McDonald House, the Queen of Hearts charity, Alzheimer's OC. For example, I recently photographed for free their caregivers luncheon where they honored outstanding caregivers for Alzheimer patients. Being a caregiver myself, this was something I could really get behind. I've also donated to help with many youth camp organization and also a lot of pet rescue organization, taking photos of pets that need homes to help them get adopted more quickly. I also love donating time with my horses to those who are underprivileged or with special needs, like this boy with autism who came out just this last week to ride and be with them. Horses are amazing at helping so many with mental health issues, PTSD, those on the autism spectrum, or really just about everyone and anyone. I would love to be able to continue to give back in these ways and others. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my story and for this awesome opportunity.